Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Festival of Storytellers, Chapter 3. We're now streaming live in our Readers Magnet Facebook page and Readers Magnet YouTube channel. This event is from October 24th to November 6th and will showcase authors who each have a marvelous story to tell. It's our first week of festivity, and it's been amazing so far. Sign up and join us at www.thefestivalofstorytellers.com. We have one of our featured authors, David Dockter, author of Wagon Train Orphan. Hi, David. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
That's good. That's good. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Well, I'm so excited to talk to you and talk about your book. Can you first show us your book?
Here it is.
Wow, very interesting cover. And there's a little boy in there. Can you share a little about your book? Of course, without giving out the plot.
Growing up in the West as an orphan was hard. Mike Fagan has to do just that. His father was killed in an Indian massacre in which he and his dog Wolf were the only survivors. With the help of God and friends he meets along the way, Mike fulfills his father's dream of growing into a man. The book is set into the time period of the 1850s during the California gold rush. It starts out in Tennessee and it ends up in California. Mike is a very religious kid. Thing he says about his dad taught him two things before, and one was to read the Bible and the other one was to shoot. And his dad made sure he knew how to do both. This is a typical Western in the fact that there's a lot of bang bang shoot 'em ups in it, but there's also a lot of people that are good and helpful and work with Mike and show him the way to go. And that's not just white settlers, it's also certain Indian tribes and friends and Hispanics. So this book and Mike, one of his favorite things to do after his dad died, he recovered his dad's Bible from the Indians that did the massacre, and he reads from it something almost every night. There are some nights when he don't, but it's not very often. And the people that he runs into along the way, they listen to it. Some of them become Christian, some of them don't, but they all respect what Mike is doing. But Mike don't take no guff from anybody. If you want to pick on somebody that's weaker or younger, he's not the person to pick on. He believes, like his father, in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. And he believes that the good people that are coming west need to bring the values of that with him.
Interesting. That's a very interesting turnout of events for Mike. I'm sure a lot of people will be excited to uncover what's gonna be his next move or his next story in your book. And what made you decide to sit down and write the book? What's your inspiration?
Well, tried to write, probably 100 books since I was 20. And I never got one finished until I started writing a book that I got published called Black Rock Redemption, and
Hmm.
it was. I felt like I was guided by God to write it, and it only took me a little while to write it, like 6 months. Uh, then, after I got it published, I started writing Wagon Train Orphan, and, and it has taken me 4 years to write.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's a long time.
yeah, I kind of thought so, but I feel like it was guided with through God every step of the way, and it was it just it kind of flowed, but I still it it wasn't a flow that, hey, I need to write every day, because every day I couldn't think of exactly what was going to happen next. It took me a little while to figure it out. And there were some ideas that I had while I was writing, but that I didn't get put in the book because, well, I want. I guess I'm saving them for a sequel sometime.
Oh my, I'm excited for that. If that's the case, I'm sure God is guiding you. The Holy Spirit is the one giving you the ideas on what to write next for the next chapter of that book. With the inspiration that you have, and I mean God's guidance, I'm sure everyone is gonna love the book.
Well, the inspiration is I've always loved westerns, just like a lot of people, and some of the western writers like Louis L'Amour, Zane Grey, uh,
Mm,
they their writing has inspired me over the years, and like I said, I feel that God has inspired me to be writing at this time in my life.
I can really tell based on how you shared what the story is about. Since you mentioned God is the one helping you, inspiring you, and writing a book, do you often sacrifice sleep during your writing process?
Yes, ma'am. A lot of time, a lot of times I, while I'm writing, uh, I write the story in my head when I'm laying down before I go to sleep. I get,
Oh my.
and sometimes that makes for an awful short night.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, you can't sleep without writing them. It will bug you the entire night. So there's nothing that you can do. You just have to get up and sit down and write it
Yes,
just to make.
yes, you do. And
Well,
sometimes after you
mhm.
wrote it, you have to do some changing in it too. But that's okay.
Yes, reread, proofread, all those stuff that you have to do to make sure that the story is connected with the previous story or with the previous chapter, right? It's something that writers need to do. For those who are watching us live, you can grab a copy of David's book, Wagon Train Orphan, available in Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and in ReadersMagnet.com. So, David, how did you decide to, or what did you learn to or discover about yourself when you were writing the book?
I discovered that if you follow your dreams and make sure that God is in the center of everything, things will happen and come true, and you will make it. You can do anything through God.
I believe that I believe in God as well, and you know, He is always there giving us inspiration on every day that we do. So whatever that we do, if He's the center of our lives, He'll be there to guide us, and He will not leave us in vain. Now, I wanted to know, what do you want your readers to take away after reading the book?
Number one, that people that settled the West were good people and bad people, just like today, and you
Mhm.
have to work through them. But as long as you're faithful, you can do all things happen through God.
Yes, there's always two sides of a coin. You can never take one out of the other. There's always a good and a bad side, but you just have to learn to navigate through it, right?
Right.
And with, of course, with God's help and guidance. And what will you tell people who would like to read your book, who would like to purchase your book?
I would say that I hope you do because I think it's good. Now,
Me
I of course I may be a little prejudiced there, but
too.
this the story is something that I feel needs to be told, even though it's fiction. There's people in the story that are real historical figures, but every event that they participate in within the story is fictional, comes out of my crazy mind, and I hope that they would enjoy this immensely.
Definitely. With with your inspiration, with God as your inspiration, your own experience as an inspiration in the book. I'm sure everyone can definitely relate to your book and would love reading it, enjoy reading it. And I wanted also to know if you have any plans of writing another book.
I have, oh, possibly
That's good. That's good.
in the works, but I'm not sure when or how long it's going to take me. But I've got one. I want to write a story about the indentured servants that came over in the 1600s from Ireland, and then
Mm-hmm.
got one that I'm working on that is about a soldier that comes back from war and is suffering from PTSD.
Mm.
And then I've got, oh, and then like I said, possibly another sequel to Wagon Train. And I've had people ask me if I was going to write a sequel to Black Rock. There may be one of those in the future.
That's a lot of ideas that you have. I'm sure you're losing more sleep because of those ideas.
Oh, I'm sure I will. I just I just hope God grants me the time, inspiration, skill, and ability to complete them.
I'm sure he will. He will. He gave you that brilliant mind. I'm sure he's gonna guide you in writing all of those books. He will use you as his vessel to share his good words through your books. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. It was a very fun talk. I actually enjoyed it. Thank you for the time, for being with us today.
Thank you. And thank you, Reader's Magnet, for the experience. I couldn't have asked for a better platform. Thank you.
Well, thank you as well for your time and for sharing your book to us, to our fairgoers who's watching us live. There you go, everyone. David Dockter, author of Wagon Train Orphan. You can grab a copy of David's book available in Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and in Reader's Magnet bookstore. Again, David, thank you so much for the time. And as we say here in Reader's Magnet, we share your story with the world. Good day, everyone.
Thank you. Goodbye.